Let me ask you something personal. Think about the last time you picked up a package of fish at the grocery store, maybe tilapia, maybe swordfish, and you felt good about that choice. You were choosing fish over red meat. You were being responsible. And that instinct was right. But here is what nobody told you when you put that fish in your cart. Some of the most popular fish being sold in supermarkets across this country right now are actively working against the body of a person over 60. Not because fish is bad, fish can be one of the most powerful health foods on earth, but because certain specific types of fish, the ones being cheaply marketed and most available, are quietly fueling the very inflammation, the joint pain, the brain fog, and the creeping weakness that you have been fighting every single day. You woke up this morning. Maybe your knees felt stiff when you first stood up. Maybe you sat at the edge of your bed for a few seconds, just gathering yourself before you could walk. You know that feeling. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet question lives there. Am I doing everything I can? Is my body getting what it truly needs? Or am I unknowingly making it harder on myself without even realizing it? That question is exactly why this video exists. Today, you are going to learn the 4 fish that are silently making things worse for people over 60, and the 4 fish that are scientifically proven to help your heart stay stronger, your brain stay sharper, your joints move more freely, and your muscles hold on to the strength that lets you live on your own terms. These are not opinions. These are backed by real research from Wake Forest University, the United States Food and Drug Administration, the World Health Organization, the New England Journal of Medicine, and Harvard University. Stay with me all the way through, because what you learn today could genuinely change the direction of your health. Let us start with the first fish you must stop eating immediately. That fish is tilapia. Most people over 60 have been told, by well-meaning doctors, by advertisements, by budget-conscious nutritional advice, that eating fish is always better than eating red meat. And so they buy tilapia because it is cheap, mild, and easy to cook. It feels like the healthy choice. But here is what a landmark study from Wake Forest University School of Medicine revealed, published in the Journal of the American Dietetic Association, that completely changes the picture. Researchers found that farm-raised tilapia, which is virtually the only kind available in American supermarkets, contains an omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acid ratio of approximately 11 to 1. Let that sink in. 11 parts of inflammatory omega-6 fat to just 1 part of heart-healthy omega-3. The Wake Forest researchers actually compared tilapia to other foods and found that its inflammatory fatty acid profile was worse than 80% lean hamburger, worse than pork bacon, worse than donuts. Dr. Floyd Chilton, the senior author of that study and professor of physiology and pharmacology at Wake Forest, warned directly that patients being advised to eat more fish were unknowingly eating tilapia and potentially putting themselves at greater risk for heart disease and inflammatory conditions. Here is why this hits specifically hard when you are over 60. As you age, your body's ability to resolve inflammation naturally slows down. Chronic low-grade inflammation accelerates after 60 and is now linked to arthritis, cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and even depression. When that 11 to 1 inflammatory fat ratio enters your system regularly, it actively stimulates arachidonic acid, the raw material your body uses to produce pro-inflammatory compounds. For someone already managing joint pain or a heart condition, tilapia does not help. It adds fuel to the fire you are already trying to put out. The second fish you must avoid is swordfish. Swordfish is a large, long-lived apex predator that spends its entire life consuming smaller fish. And every smaller fish it eats carries trace amounts of methylmercury, the most toxic form of mercury known to exist. Through a process called bioaccumulation, that mercury concentrates in the swordfish's flesh over years and decades. By the time swordfish reaches your plate, it carries one of the highest mercury concentrations of any commercially sold fish in America. The United States Food and Drug Administration places swordfish in its highest alert category, choices to avoid, specifically due to these dangerous mercury levels. Mercury is a neurotoxin, meaning it attacks the nervous system and the brain directly. The World Health Organization has documented mercury-related symptoms including tremors, insomnia, memory loss, mood changes, and progressive cognitive dysfunction. A case study published in a peer-reviewed journal described a 91-year-old whose cognitive decline and behavioral changes were directly traced to chronic mercury exposure from fish consumption. The patient had eaten high-mercury fish for years, assuming it was healthy. The frightening reality is that mercury poisoning can look almost exactly like normal aging. Forgetting names, feeling unsteady, a slight tremor in your hand when you reach for a glass, mood that is harder to control than it used to be. Researchers from the American Academy of Neurology have also linked high mercury seafood consumption to increased risk of ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, one of the most devastating neurological conditions imaginable. And a study published in the journal Nutritional Neuroscience found that mercury exposure was associated with central nervous system disorders that can trigger Alzheimer's-like decline. Keep swordfish off your plate completely. The third fish on this list is king mackerel. And before you worry, this is absolutely not the same as Atlantic mackerel, which is one of the healthiest fish you can eat, and you will hear about it very soon. King mackerel is a large, long-lived migratory fish sitting at the top of the ocean food chain. Like swordfish, it is listed on the FDA's Choices to Avoid chart, highest mercury levels. What makes king mackerel uniquely dangerous for seniors specifically is that the aging kidney, which already operates at reduced efficiency after 60, is less capable of excreting heavy metals like mercury from the body. Research published in Environmental Health Perspectives confirms this directly. When a 65-year-old eats king mackerel, the mercury does not just pass through, it lingers, accumulates in tissues, and reaches the brain at concentrations significantly higher than in a younger person eating the exact same fish. The Cleveland Clinic advises patients with any neurological or cardiovascular condition to avoid king mackerel entirely. The symptoms develop slowly, over months and years, which is precisely why they are so dangerous. You might never connect the brain fog or the tremor in your hands to the fish you have eaten every Friday night for the past 2 years. Now, before I reveal the fourth worst fish, let me tell you about a woman named Dorothy. Dorothy is 71 and lives in Ohio. She came to her doctor complaining of worsening knee pain, unexplained fatigue, and growing mental cloudiness. Her doctor reviewed her diet. Dorothy was eating tilapia twice a week, swordfish once every 10 days, and king mackerel occasionally when it went on sale. Her doctor recognized the pattern immediately. Within 4 months of removing those fish and replacing them with the ones you are about to learn, Dorothy reported a 60% reduction in joint pain, significantly clearer thinking, and energy she had not felt in 3 years. Her story is not unusual. It is happening to thousands of seniors right now who have simply never been told the truth. The fourth fish you must stop eating is one most people have never even heard of, yet it sits quietly in grocery stores and seafood restaurants, often labeled simply as deep-sea white fish. That fish is orange roughy. Orange roughy can live for up to 150 years. Think about what that means. For every one of those years, it absorbs mercury from deep ocean waters and from every fish it consumes. By the time an orange roughy is caught and sold commercially, it may be 20 to 70 years old, and it has been accumulating mercury for every single day of that long life. The FDA lists orange roughy on its Choices to Avoid chart, with average mercury concentrations of 0.571 parts per million, among the highest of any commercial fish. WebMD confirms that orange roughy carries dangerous mercury loads that make it particularly unsuitable for older adults whose kidneys and nervous systems are already under greater daily stress. If you see an inexpensive, mild-tasting white fish option at a restaurant, always ask its name before you order it, knowing that one word could protect your brain and nervous system for years to come. Right here, I want to pause and speak to you directly. If you have been watching this video and recognizing fish that you regularly eat, please do not feel bad. You are not making bad choices. You are making the choices the food industry made widely available and advertised as healthy. The fact that you are here, learning this right now, is a genuine act of self-care. Take a breath, because now we move into the part of this video that gives you real power. Before we continue, if this video has already given you something valuable, I want to ask a small but meaningful favor. Hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps other seniors who are making these same mistakes find this information when they need it most. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell, because every week we publish research-backed content made specifically for people over 60. You deserve information that is honest, specific, and truly made for you. And if you feel moved to support this channel's mission of helping seniors live stronger and freer lives, the Super Thanks button below is a beautiful way to do that. Every contribution helps us keep creating free content for the people who need it most. Now, let us talk about the 4 fish that can genuinely transform your health. The first fish you should be eating is wild-caught salmon. And I want to be very specific. Wild-caught, not farm-raised. A landmark study published in the Harvard Health Journal found that seniors who eat fatty fish regularly have significantly lower rates of cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and death from all causes. A 30-year study published in the New England Journal of Medicine confirmed that fish consumption was inversely related to fatal heart attacks. The more fish people ate, the less likely they were to die from heart disease. Wild-caught salmon is one of the most concentrated natural sources of DHA and EPA omega-3 fatty acids. A 3-ounce serving of wild Atlantic salmon provides 1.57 grams of these omega-3s, more than enough to meet your heart and brain's daily anti-inflammatory needs. Here is why this matters so profoundly for your body after 60. As you age, the walls of your blood vessels naturally become stiffer and less flexible. The DHA and EPA in wild salmon work directly on those vessel walls, improving their elasticity, reducing triglycerides, and lowering the chronic inflammation that drives heart disease in older adults. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic confirmed that omega-3s specifically have anti-inflammatory effects that help with cognitive aging. And a study from the University of Texas Health Science Center linked regular omega-3 consumption to improved brain structure and cognitive function in older adults. The DHA in wild salmon actually becomes part of the physical structure of your brain cells. It forms the membrane around your neurons. Think of your brain cells as tiny rooms. DHA is the quality of the walls. More DHA means stronger walls, better communication between brain cells, and a brain that resists the aging process far more powerfully. Bake wild salmon at 375 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes with olive oil, fresh lemon, and herbs. Aim for 2 to 3 servings per week. Never fry it. Frying destroys the omega-3s and adds harmful oxidized fats. Meet Robert, 74 years old, a retired school principal from Portland, Oregon. He had been on medication for high triglycerides for 6 years, and his doctor told him the numbers were not improving. Robert made one change. He replaced his regular tilapia and swordfish with wild-caught salmon and sardines, twice each per week. After 14 weeks, his triglycerides dropped by 38%. His doctor called him personally, genuinely surprised. Robert changed nothing else. No new supplements, no new exercise routine, just 2 different meals a week. The second fish you must eat is sardines. Stay with me here, because the science behind sardines is something most doctors have never fully told you. Gram for gram, sardines may be the single most complete nutritional food available to seniors at any grocery store. A study published in the NIH journal PMC confirmed that sardines simultaneously provide omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and vitamin D, all working together to support bone metabolism, which becomes critically important after 60 when bone density loss accelerates rapidly. A single can of sardines provides approximately 350 milligrams of calcium, more than a glass of milk, combined with the vitamin D your body needs to actually absorb and use that calcium properly. WebMD confirms that the omega-3s in sardines specifically reduce the risk of arrhythmias, the dangerous irregular heartbeats that become increasingly common in adults over 60. And the protein in sardines is among the most bioavailable, meaning your body uses nearly all of it to maintain the muscle mass that keeps you balanced, independent, and resilient. Muscle mass after 60 is not about appearance. It is about survival, about being able to catch yourself before a fall, to recover from illness, to walk without assistance. Choose sardines packed in water or olive oil. Rinse them lightly and add them to a salad, toast, or crackers with lemon and a little mustard. The third fish on your must-eat list is Atlantic mackerel. And this distinction is so critical, I want to say it twice. Atlantic mackerel, not king mackerel. These two fish share a name, but could not be more different in terms of health. Atlantic mackerel is a small, fast-living schooling fish that the FDA classifies as a best choice because of its extremely low mercury levels. At the same time, Cleveland Clinic's omega-3 research shows that Atlantic mackerel delivers 1.02 grams of omega-3s per 3-ounce cooked serving, placing it among the top 5 most omega-3 rich fish you can buy anywhere. A study published in the American Heart Association's journal Arteriosclerosis, Thrombosis, and Vascular Biology confirmed that regular consumption of fatty fish like mackerel was associated with lower cardiovascular disease risk and lower cognitive decline across both men and women. For people over 60 who want to protect their heart and brain simultaneously without a long list of supplements, Atlantic mackerel is one of the most efficient and affordable answers available. Grill it, bake it, or pan-sear it with garlic and olive oil. Its rich flavor pairs beautifully with lemon and fresh herbs. The fourth and final fish you must add to your weekly routine is herring. Most Americans have no relationship with herring, but it is one of the most celebrated fish in all of Northern Europe, where populations consistently live longer and have lower rates of heart disease than Americans. Atlantic herring provides a remarkable 1.71 grams of omega-3 fatty acids per 3-ounce serving, making it the second highest omega-3 fish on Cleveland Clinic's entire recommended list. But omega-3s are only the beginning. Herring is one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D on Earth, providing 24% of your daily value per 4-ounce serving. After 60, vitamin D deficiency is epidemic. Research from the National Institutes of Health estimates that over 40% of American adults are deficient, with consequences including weakened bones, muscle weakness, impaired immunity, and dramatically increased fall risk. Herring is also rich in vitamin B12, which the body becomes progressively unable to absorb from food after 60 due to declining stomach acid and intrinsic factor. Vitamin B12 is essential for nerve function, red blood cell production, and preventing the profound fatigue and neurological damage that B12 deficiency anemia causes in older adults. WebMD's nutrition research confirms that the omega-3s in herring significantly reduce arrhythmias and improve overall cardiovascular function. You can find smoked, pickled, or fresh herring at most larger grocery stores. Start with smoked herring on whole grain crackers or stirred into scrambled eggs. Now here is an important bonus that very few people know about, because timing and preparation matter just as much as which fish you choose. The most powerful time to eat your omega-3 rich fish is at dinner rather than breakfast or lunch, because your body's natural anti-inflammatory repair cycle peaks during the evening hours when you rest. Also, never eat your fish alongside sugary foods or refined carbohydrates in the same meal. Research from the University of Massachusetts Lowell found that omega-3 absorption is significantly higher when paired with healthy fats like olive oil and significantly lower in high glycemic meal environments. And always bake, steam, or grill your fish rather than frying it. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that elderly individuals who ate baked or broiled fish had a lower risk of ischemic stroke, while those who ate fried fish actually had a higher risk. The same fish, entirely different outcomes based solely on how it was prepared. The cooking method changes everything. Before we close, I want to be genuinely honest about one important thing. Everything shared in this video is educational, based on real published research from respected institutions. But you are a unique individual. Your health history, your medications, and your existing conditions belong only to you. If you have kidney disease, thyroid conditions, blood clotting disorders, or take blood thinners or heart medications, the omega-3 content in fatty fish can interact with those conditions in important ways. Please talk to your doctor before making major dietary changes. Show them this research. Ask their opinion. That conversation is not a burden. It is the single most powerful step you can take for your health. And now I want to speak to you one final time, just as one human being to another. Getting older is not what anyone tells you it is going to be. It is quieter, harder, sometimes lonelier than you expected. There are mornings when your body does not cooperate the way it used to, when the stairs feel steeper than yesterday, when you look at your hands and they look like someone else's. And in those moments, it is tempting to believe that the best chapters of your life are already written. But I need you to hear this clearly, because I mean every single word. The choices you make at your next meal are not small. They are not insignificant. They are direct messages to your body about what you believe you are still worth. Every time you choose wild salmon over swordfish, every time you open a can of sardines, every time you ask the waiter what kind of fish is in that dish before you order it, you are voting for yourself. You are telling your body that you are not done, that there are still mornings worth getting up for, people worth staying strong for, and a life that is not finished, surprising you. The fish you eat cannot give back everything that time has taken, but it can slow the taking down. It can keep your heart pumping with less resistance, your brain connecting thoughts with less fog, your joints moving with less protest. That is not a small thing. That is everything. If this video helped you today, please like it right now and subscribe to this channel. We are here for you every single week. Share this with a friend or family member who needs to hear it. And in the comments below, tell me just one thing. Which fish are you removing from your diet, and which one are you adding? I read every single comment. I answer as many as I can. Because you are not just a viewer to me. You are the entire reason this channel exists. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself. You are absolutely worth it.